Recently, I bought a Quest Link cable after using a USB 2.0 cable without knowing. About 2 years ago, I bought a 3-pack of 10-foot USB cables for about $10 and they were really good until I got my Quest 3S, and although it worked fine, I got a little too curious. In using the MetaLink app on PC, I found out that those cables are actually USB 2.0. Now I know that by looking at the USB color it's pretty obvious, but I never actually thought to do that. So that made me think, if you're recommended to use a USB 3.0 cable by the MetaLink app, and I see plenty of people suggesting it, is it actually worth spending the money on one? Now before you ask, no, I did not spend $20 on a link cable or $80 on a link cable from Meta. Instead, after doing some research, apparently the link cables are nothing more than USB 3.0 cables with a right angle connector. So, as I normally do, I took a look at AliExpress and alone found one for about $4.38. Now when I got it, first off, the cable feels very durable, has the right angle connector, and was about 10 feet, which is enough. So already this was a decent purchase. So I went into the MetaLink app and used its USB test functionality, and the USB 2.0 cable showed a speed of 340 megabits per second. Then I tested the USB 3.0 link cable and it gave a speed of 2 gigabits per second, which is a crazy leap. Now of course, it's not possible yet to actually utilize that much speed because QuestLink has an actual limit of about 960 megabits per second. Now on the topic of whether it was worth it or not, well, in a minute or so, you will see benchmarks of Half-Life Alyx and Arizona Sunshine Remake, but before, let's talk about the settings being used. Now in the Oculus debug tool for the USB 2.0 cable, I used a forced encoding bitrate of 340 megabits per second as shown in the MetaLink app, and for the USB 3.0 link cable, I used a forced bitrate of 960 megabits per second because of that being the absolute limit. I recorded the gameplay you'll see shortly from the built-in recorder on the Quest 3S at a bitrate of 20 megabits per second. Now the quality won't be perfectly shown because of the difference in recording bitrate and the Quest Link bitrate, but you guys may visually see a difference. The quality I see is far different than what you may see. Now the first game I tried when I got the cable was Half-Life Alyx, since it's one of the most high quality VR games created for PC VR, and to be honest, I felt that there was a major placebo effect. Using the link cable made me look further into things that I never looked at before, which made me feel that there was a big jump in quality. At the moment, everything looked extremely sharp compared to before, and it was so much better. But I then went back to USB 2.0 and realized that it looked pretty much the same. There was never much of a visual or input difference. I realized that because I expected it to be noticeably better, I felt like it looked better, but it didn't actually. But you guys might have a better eye for it than I do. I then tested the Arizona Sunshine Remake and it was the exact same thing, but this time I wasn't falling for the placebo effect. I tested the USB 2.0 first, then tested the link cable, and there wasn't much of a difference. Again, you guys may have a better eye for it than I do, so you may see some changes that I'm not noticing, but in my experience, they both felt the exact same. So in conclusion, there isn't much of a difference quality wise, but there are some pros that the cable has. The right angle connector is really useful, and the cable can charge the headset way more while playing Quest Link. Now, are those two things worth paying for a whole new cable? Well, for anything higher than $10, no. I personally have no issue with it because I spent $5, but if you have a USB 2.0 cable and you're using it just fine, then don't bother spending any money on a USB 3.0 cable. It's absolutely criminal that Meta is actually selling their link cable for $80. Thanks for watching this video. If you found this video helpful and would like to see more, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.